Hi, guys. How are you today? Time to talk housewives. So, we got a couple stories in the media today that's been going on. Not too much, kind of a slow news day. Today, we're going to talk about Lisa Vanderpump not wanting them to raise the price of minimum wage. Then, we're going to talk about Zayn Malik being accused of being on drugs and leading to erratic behavior. And then, we're going to talk about Lisa Rinna and her daughter Delilah pretending like everything's okay after her meltdown 3 days ago. So let me go ahead, play my intro, allow more people into the room, and then we'll get right into it. Hi, guys. How are you? Hey, Perry.
Hey, what's up? What's up?
Okay, so you guys listen. We've been out all day looking for houses. So we've been looking for houses. So we've been up early. You know how it involves all of this stuff and whatnot. Thank you, Bria. As much as I dislike Rinna, I hope her daughter gets the help she needs.
Yep.
We'll get to that. So we've been running around, and I went no makeup on. Okay, I forgot to put on makeup today. I apologize. We've been busy, and Perry did not say anything until I was about to go on. I was like, "How come you don't have any makeup on?" You don't love me, Perry. You don't.
Look.
You don't. It's just really crazy. And then Perry fell asleep, and then he just woke up 2 minutes ago. And this is.
You told me the time we was going on. You woke me up. Oh, we
I
going
don't
on.
know what happened.
Why should I remind
What
you
is
about
going
makeup?
on? This is a bad day, isn't it? Oh my God.
Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah, we had a lot going on today.
It's the weekend though. It's the weekend, so we need to shake
and
it
I
off.
wanted to come on. I wanted to come on Monday through Friday consistently because this could have been an easy a day that I said no. Let's just not do it today. But I'm responsible, right, Perry? Here, let me go ahead and hook this up really quickly. I even forgot to turn on the thing where I can take calls.
Oh wow.
It's been a bad day. Anyway, let's get into it. Let's start with the Zayn Malik situation. Because I got a lot of backlash for doing this story. I had said when I was doing the story that Zayn Malik's parents, his father's Muslim. He grew up a strict Muslim. And I got chewed out. And I said that he was a strict Muslim. And people were like, you don't know what you're talking about. Hold on, let me put this link in here. I never said that I'm Muslim and I don't understand the religion and things like that. What I meant by that is, and I called him an extremist. And what I meant by that is that you have some people that are really religious that follow all the rules. Does this make sense? Or am I getting digging a bigger hole? Like some people are really religious and they follow all of, like you got extreme Christians that really follow the rules. Does this make sense? Maybe I need to shut up and go with this story. But I wasn't trying to offend anyone when I said he's an extreme Muslim. I meant that he was, they're very strict. Like some people, can you help me out? What am I trying to say?
I mean, is he serious about his religion? Is that what you're saying? That takes it real
when
serious?
He grew up, his father was very religious, like, but you know, some people could be like, you could be a Mormon, but you could be like Heather from Salt Lake City.
Right.
Like, I'm not a Mormon, but you know, I still party and drink.
Right.
And then there's some Mormons, you're gonna follow the rules. You're not gonna, you know, date until a certain age and stuff like that. So when I said that his father was an extreme Muslim, oh, and then someone said it's not called Muslim, the name of the religion is Islam. I don't mean to offend anybody. I was explaining how he grew up and how those things get passed down. Okay.
That's okay.
All right. We got it. All right. But anyway, hold on. One second. Hold on. So anyway, so let's talk about Zayn Malik. Now, this has nothing to do with the way he's grown up. Okay, so the rumors are that Gigi's sister, Bella, and her brother, Anwar, I hope I pronounced that all right, Sharia law is strict. His family followed it. That's what I'm trying to say, okay? I'm going to have to drop the link so Freddie can come up because I'm trying to say he grew up really strict and under these certain conditions.
Rules and regulations.
Yeah, like that, like might be normal to other people. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, but now, and so he kind of grew up. It's okay to cheat and all of that stuff. That he grew up acting like his father. There, somebody needs to tell me to shut up. He grew up acting like his dad, and so he cheats on Gigi all the time and all of that. And so we, of course, Bella and Anwar they don't like him. They're really upset with him. They're not speaking to him. It's called a bigger division in the family. They all want her to break up with him, but she has this baby with him, and she still feels stuck in the middle. Okay, so now the rumors are going around that he is on so much weed and smokes it consistently that it's leading to paranoia. Now, have you ever heard of weed leading to paranoia?
No.
And aggressive behavior.
Not weed.
That's what but they have new improved weed these days.
Well, I know, maybe. I'm just saying, you asked me if I heard of it. I mean, yeah, maybe.
That's supposed to be another reason. And they're saying that he's difficult in the business to work with. So, I don't know. Weed makes you hit people. I don't know. It's weird.
Most weed I know make you get tired and hungry and sleep.
Devoted. He's on H from all the rumors in the past. He's on H.
Oh, it could be the heroin.
I know, that's gotta be right, John. Because I'm thinking, what kind of weed makes you aggressive and paranoid? Paranoid? He's probably on other drugs.
I was gonna say bath salt. That'll do it.
The way people are saying that weed does make you paranoid.
Oh,
it
well.
does? What kind of weed makes you paranoid? I don't know. I don't know much about drugs. I don't know. I thought weed make you eat and sleepy.
Yeah, that was just my opinion. But
and why do I have this?
Smoke weed every day.
If I'm not going to know the rules to the weed. But anyway, so that's the rumors is that he's on weed. But I'm starting to think it might be something more than weed. Because that doesn't make sense. Now, does it? It's being reported that it's weed, but it just doesn't make sense. Weed that is laced can make you paranoid. Oh, God, they're getting really into it. You can lace weed? Weed makes me paranoid. Okay, well, I don't know what kind of weed they have these days. Laced weed? Oh, God, I got to do more of an investigation. But right now they're saying it's supposed to be weed that's leading to his paranoid behavior and his aggressiveness. And he has a bad reputation in the business. And this is just a mess. But I'm starting to think maybe it's laced weed. I just now found out.
But do you keep smoking something that make you paranoid, though? I guess people do.
I don't know how that works. I mean, if you're paranoid, do you know?
Well, if they can come out and say weed make you paranoid, the person said weed make her paranoid. Obviously, they know it made them paranoid.
This is what I'm saying.
I'm not a weed smoker, so I couldn't tell.
But if you're paranoid, I'm assuming they don't know they're paranoid. I mean, right?
Until the next day, maybe. I mean, but the person just said, Alex said that weed make her paranoid, or him, or whoever, right? Paranoid. So they must know. But maybe we'll get a weed expert come on one day and talk about it. I'm not sure.
Maybe we'll get a weed expert. We need to find out more about weed. Freddie's trying. He said could be laced with something else. Very possible. I don't know, but that's the rumors of why he's been acting like this. You know, he has since moved out of the house that him and Gigi lived in together. He's still not talking to Yolanda. It still mad chaotic. Her family members want her to leave him. This is a mess. This is a mess.
I mean, could it just be an asshole though?
What does that have to do with anything? What are you talking about, Kat? What does being paranoid have to do with the weed? They're saying that the reason that he is not liked in the industry, he's labeled a difficult to work with, is because he smokes a lot of weed. The weed leads to aggressiveness and paranoia. I've only smoked weed a few times and it made me paranoid, really, and lazy. It's not for me at all.
The lazy part, I can agree.
Remember we had a girl that came on one day and smoking weed when she was talking to us?
Uh-huh.
I want her to call in. If you're there, weed is better than booze. I don't know, but I know it's legal here in Vegas and it's like a cigarette. Everybody smokes it. So I don't know if everybody's paranoid. I don't know if it does things to different people. I don't know.
I mean, what I'm saying is like, you know, people always give people an excuse why they're an asshole. He could be an asshole on weed.
I mean, weed doesn't make you cheat. I know that. It doesn't make you beat up on your mother-in-law. So THC is potent and weed can cause paranoia. Everyone's saying that it can make you paranoid.
Well, I got to apologize. If I said it didn't, I was wrong.
Maybe there's different kinds of weed. I don't know. But if you smoke weed, call in. We need to ask some questions. Okay, so let's move on to our next story. So we have that story. Everyone's mad at Lisa Vanderpump. And this is really crazy because they're trying to pass a law in LA to raise minimum wage. They want to raise it to 17 something. What kind of world will you live in where $17 an hour is minimum wage? But they're saying that even that's not enough. LA is, I don't know. See, this is what pisses me off about LA is unreasonable. I don't know why people live there anymore, even though we used to live there for a long time. We got the hell out of there. It's too expensive. You can't really live there and take care of yourself. You've got to make good money to live in LA. But
What
anyway,
is minimum wage? Is it $15 now? Or in some states?
Well,
I'm not sure.
In Vegas, I think it's $9 an hour minimum wage.
Really?
They want to raise theirs to 17. Here, I got a couple super chats. Zayn dumped his ex-fiance weeks before weeding. I'm not messing with you, Freddie. I'm not. Zayn better not blame his crazy antics on marijuana. I mean, that's what I thought, but everyone's saying no, Sherelle, it's possible. I smoke every day and ain't never hit anybody. I know. Leave my weed alone.
That's what I'm saying, though. Like, I'm not, I mean, people that work with him can know he smoke a lot of weed. And then they using that for excuse to say, oh, that's why he act that way. No, he could be a natural asshole that's smoking weed.
Yeah.
That's what I'm starting to think.
I don't know. It's complicated. It's because I don't think that many people that just respond to us is making it up. So maybe it could be laced with something like Freddie said. I don't know what it is, but whatever's going on with Zayn, you have no excuse, in my opinion.
Oh, you know, I mean, I'm not saying they're making it up. I'm just saying that even if we do make you paranoid, that don't mean that's why he acting the way he's acting.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, he has to be accountable for his actions. He really does. All right, let's go back to this Lisa Vanderpump story. Okay, so they want to raise the minimum wage in LA to 17 something. I think it was like 17.50 something. I think is outrageous. But Lisa and a couple other business people came out and spoke up against it. And people are furious. They're like, people that make minimum wage or need to make more money saying, you know, you're being insensitive to our needs. And, you know, how dare you? So let's take a look at this clip.
Tonight, West Hollywood stands poised to have the highest minimum wage in the nation. The WeHo City Council has proposed a $17.64 an hour wage that would take effect January 1st for hotel workers and July 1st for everybody else.
I'm very much in favor of raising the minimum wage. I've had parents who work low-income jobs, so I understand that kind of struggle. I just think everyone deserves to be able to live a normal lifestyle here.
According to MIT, the amount needed to support oneself in Los Angeles, the living wage is $19.35 an hour.
I have some friends that work 17-an-hour jobs in some other places, and they're still struggling. So, I mean, I guess it's a good start, but I think we can do a little better.
But local business owners, some of whom say they're still making up on back rent from the pandemic, urged the council to give it some time.
I just implore you to really give this a lot of thought, because I do believe if we raise the minimum wage now, it's going to be counterproductive.
People are mad at her. Why do people live in LA? I maybe because I grew up there. I'm over California. I think it's overpriced and overrated. It's dirty. I don't understand it. And now everybody from LA, they want to come here and mess up our city. I just don't. And then they're saying that 1765 is not enough. That it most likely, in all honesty, it needs to be $19 an hour. Now what?
Well, I mean, it's high in LA. I mean, it was high when we lived there.
Yeah.
And you can ask yourself why. I mean, we had to pay the high rents and everything too, right?
We did.
But it's a choice. Yeah. We had a choice. You can move or leave. But I don't know. I mean, it maybe if people left, they'll raise the minimum wage. I don't know. They wouldn't have any work. I don't know.
$19 an hour, I thought was good money, but not in LA. They consider that minimum wage, and they said that should be the minimum wage. But anyway, people went off on Lisa Vanderpump. Does she have a right to even say something like this? Is she worth $85 million?
Yeah. Yeah.
Does it sound insensitive? So someone worth $85 million to say we shouldn't raise the minimum wage?
Of course it do. Right. They make enough. As if that's the case, why did you have to make so much damn money? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Why you got $85 million when $13 an hour was good? You know.
Well, anyway, let me read her response after the super chat. Could Yolanda be lying? Remember how she accused Ken of hitting her on the show? Did she? And the cameras proved her lying and exaggerating. I don't think Yolanda's lying because she sued him, took him to court for it. So, but I don't remember she said that Ken hit her. You guys have to refresh my memory. I don't remember that. It's been so long since she's been on the show now. But we'll talk about that in a minute. Let's go back to Lisa Vanderpump. So Lisa Vanderpump, so people are pissed at her. And she came out to try to
clean it up.
Clean it up. That's how you say it. Okay, so this is what she said. Let me put it up here. Because really, I love you, LVP. Oh, you're not the person that should be speaking up on this matter. She says, now, no, let me be clear. What we proposed to the city council was not to disgrace raising minimum wage. It was to approach it in a twofold manner. To delay this vote until restaurants can get back on their feet during this deadly pandemic. So many have gone out of business and others are faced with major debts that may not survive. And two, as WeHo, I don't know what that is a progressive city to consider reconstructing the minimum wage pay scale so that certain categories of the tipped employees often making $500 a night. Can you make that much as a waiter? $500 a night in tips? And often up to $1,000 per year, far exceed minimum wages. Oh, Lisa. Are not considered in the same class as non-tipped hourly employees who rely solely on minimum wage. The city attorney has confirmed that WeHo could be the first city to implement a tier scale, like that, and is looking into it. Read our full letter that we submitted to the WeHo City Council. I don't know anybody I know a lot of waiters, but I didn't know they can make up to $1,000 a night. Perry, you're on mute. Sorry. You're on mute.
She said they can make up to 100,000 a year. Maybe some. All depends on.
Well, what? Wait,
I-
do you
I-
know that
I-
makes that much money?
I don't know. I'm just saying what she said.
Sassy Girl says, I hate living in California. It's expensive everywhere here. It really is. I'll be glad when we PCS.
PCS.
Pass. What is that?
That they must be like the military, like if something when they leave, get orders to go.
What are your thoughts? I think Lisa
You know what though? I think minimum wage should be raised across the board, not even just in California, all the way across. But I do understand some cities, some states are more expensive than others.
Oh, West Hollywood. Okay. Go ahead. Sorry.
You know.
I don't know. Okay, I'm really thinking about this, guys. Minimum wage workers deserve to be able to take care of yourself, to provide a living for yourselves on any job. Fast food, you should be able to pay the bills. But if people like Lisa Vanderpump, who provides the jobs, can't pay you, I don't know. Let me see what Bungie says.
Okay, I mean, at the end of the day, they'll be able to pay you, but they just gonna raise the prices of their services.
That's what I was thinking. Bonji says, I'm in Kansas. Minimum wage is still $7.25. That's reasonable. Love LVP, but she is wrong. We're just, I don't know, Bonji. I mean, this is what I'm thinking, Bonji. If you can't afford to pay, she could afford to pay minimum wage.
Well,
She's
of course
Lisa
she could.
Vanderpump.
Of course she could.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, in my opinion, she could.
Listen, LA is horrible. You cannot take care of yourself there. And some people were cursed, like me, and brought to that place at a very young age. You grow up in that. And so it's just unreasonable. It's unreasonable. And I don't know any waiter that pulls in $1,000 a night in tips. I mean, unless I'm wrong. Bria says, yes, Perry, I agree. Go ahead.
And those expensive restaurants, Sherelle, don't be shocked.
You think they can make $1,000 a night?
Right.
And why are they complaining?
Well, okay. See, I think it's two different things. Like, and even, I mean, because I didn't know this for years, that I thought all waitresses and stuff made the same. But most of them get lower than minimum wage, like a set price, because they factor in that they're going to make tips.
Oh.
Right?
Oh.
And I never knew this. It was the damnedest thing for me. But the person that don't get tips, like the dishwasher, whatever, that's the hourly wage person. I'm not gonna say maybe it should be 18, but damn it, if Bungie said it's some states it's 7.25,
Kansas,
I don't know why they got to go to 18. Maybe, I mean, and I heard that maybe I'm wrong.
But Perry, when you were younger,
I thought minimum wage was $15.
This is before you started real estate and all that. When we very first got married, I was a teenager. And you worked somewhere. I can't remember where you worked. When you first got out the military, you worked somewhere. Like you were a security guard or Walmart, something like that.
Yeah, Walmart.
You couldn't pay the bills. Remember?
Right.
You need to be able to pay your bills.
No, I get it. And my family used to always say, well, why do you continue to want to stay out there? I just liked it. I knew it was the other choice, though. And see, this is a give me. I know it's a certain choice. Minimum wage should be raised across the board. If people going to make all this money, whatever, minimum wage should be raised, right? Mm-hmm. A person should have a first shot. But then I can't say if I chose to live in Beverly Hills, I'm just going to point a spot out. I'm going to live in Beverly Hills. That's by my choice. If I can't pay rent in Beverly Hills.
But those people that work at the restaurants don't live in Beverly Hills.
Well, no.
They're coming in from, I don't know, Carson City. They're coming in from other areas, right? Right?
Okay. Well,
we've gotten old and out of touch.
You're missing my point a little bit, what I'm trying to say. I get it. Like, we had a choice to leave California years ago. We stayed for many years. We could have went back east where it was cheaper.
Right.
It's sort of on both things. I think minimum wage should be raised to a certain thing, but you can't just say if you choose to live in a high rise, I can't make your employer pay for it. Do you understand what I'm saying?
No, I do not understand what you're talking about. Hold on, let me read this really quick. $1,000 a night? No, maybe 300. That's what I thought. A night and a job you can only do until you're 30. They deserve every penny. I'm agreeing with you. What are you saying, Perry? You're saying you chose to live in California and they don't pay minimum wage there. So therefore, you must suffer the consequences because living in California is your choice. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, we can sort of put it that way, but it's not that simple. Like I said, I stayed there for many years. By choice, I could have left, right? Or what I'm saying, minimum wage needs to be raised. Like I think minimum wage should be something in that area, whatever area you in. If you in California, it should be based off the rent and be a percentage of it, as if it may be. Now, the person don't deserve to make the same amount in a different state that the cost of living is cheaper. It should be some kind of something factored in somewhere to that. A person shouldn't have to work 80 hours just to afford the minimum place to live. Yeah. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's why they need to raise the minimum wage. But, and here's another question. Is LA prices just going to keep going up until, like, it doesn't have to break eventually? Now they want minimum wage to be $17 an hour. And it should be there, according to them, 19. Like, what is this?
Really, it could be, because if the base housing gonna cost you $2,000 a month for one bedroom, now the people that's renting out the units getting paid, the people that's serving the food getting paid. So I mean, I sort of understand that.
Hold on one second. I'm having a problem. People keep asking me to drop the link. Oh my God, I thought I dropped the link and I put my Instagram.
Oh Lord.
Sorry, Andrea. Let me try this again. What is going on with me today? I dropped my Instagram link. Like when we first started talking. I don't know, Perry. This is a it's a heated debate, and I could see both ends of the spectrum.
And this is what I'm sort of saying, though. Now, this is my theory. I think in any area, because every area is going to change, right? If the base housing, if something decent, regular little place to stay, nothing fancy, nothing crappy, right? Say if it was $2,000 a month, then I think a person that's working full time, doing that month, should be able to make, just working 40 hours a week, should be able to make the rent plus utilities plus food and a little more. That's what I would think.
What do you think about this, Diva? I mean, $17 an hour minimum wage, and it should be 19 according to them.
Well, so if they're saying it should be 19, then they did the analysis according to the housing, like you're saying, Perry, and everything surrounding, and to buy the food. So that means bringing up to 17, the people still going to probably starve, but they're trying to say, well, let's at least try to come to some middle ground. I understand what Lisa Vanderpump is trying to say. Maybe the other restaurant people that are not worth as much as she is worth, is they're going to struggle because now they got to pay extra money to the worker. But they need to find some medium ground, because they said something similar to that, like where I live, the restaurants are saying, we have to offer extra money because nobody wants to work for us, because they can go work for Amazon and all these other places and get paid more money. So they don't want to come back to work. So it's like this catch-22. Everybody got to kind of raise the salary just to keep a worker in the building. So, but I'm thinking if California is saying this, it should be 19 and they're trying to raise it to 17. What is it now that they're trying to raise it from? Up to 17?
It's 15.
It's 15. It's 15.
And see, I don't know, like where I live in Jersey, the rents are so high and astronomical. Like you could barely afford your rent unless you work in like 7 jobs and you have a side hustle. And so it's like, people got to be able to afford to live and still have a decent life. Yeah. And one of my girlfriends said that, I'm paying $2,000 in rent, but they're saying I can't afford a mortgage. But she's like, but I'm paying $2,000 in rent. So she couldn't even get assigned for a mortgage, but yet she's paying $2,000 in rent, and the mortgage for the house she would have got would have been $1,750. She couldn't even, like she said, this is crazy.
Right.
So it's like, you know, what gives?
Yeah, I have one more story that I forgot about. I'm talking about Delilah, and so we all said that, saw that tape the other day when she came out and basically, what's the word? Scared us. Okay, is that a fair statement? She said she went to rehab, but she was still on. She went to rehab, and she cut back, and she was still on Xanax. Of course, Lisa Rinna got a flood of people saying, this is your fault and you guys need to take care of this and whatnot. So now they're trying to spin the narrative. Okay, they're trying to spin the narrative. Delilah has been spotted today at a couple restaurants. Now, I'm not making this up, okay? Walking around with her sister. I can't find the picture that I had. And Lisa Rinna put out this statement. This is just... We got a lot to talk about today. I said we don't have a lot, but we kind of do. Because this is asinine. She says, thank you to all of the angels who have reached out, sharing their stories, sending their loves and prayers. We are so grateful to you all for your help and guidance. We are forever grateful. You have not taken care of the problem, okay? She's still an addict that has cut down, according to her, on Xanax. So those are the three stories we were talking about. Andrea, which one you want to talk about today?
LVP.
What's your point?
Well, LVP, for her to make a statement like that, people that work in her restaurant are not allowed to get a tip. So
what are you talking about? What are you talking about?
In her restaurant.
I mean, I heard you. I mean, are you sure? That's what I meant.
Yeah. If you go back to her videos, it states that the people that work in her restaurant cannot receive a tip.
So you're thinking, okay, let's make sure we understand what we're talking about here, because this is a powerful statement. You're saying that LVP
do not allow her workers to receive.
Does she
tips.
pay in exchange?
They get paid, but they are not allowed to receive tips.
You're not insinuating, I gotta clear this up, that LVP has the bosses or the owner's best interest in mind rather than the workers. Is that what you're insinuating?
I'm gonna give you an example. If you go back, you remember in one episode, Stassi got a tip, $100 tip. And she had to hide that tip from LVP because they were not allowed to receive any tips.
Are you sure? People are saying I don't think so.
Go back. For the first beginning, when Stassi was working now, Stassi received the tip and she put it in her pocket, and they laughed about it because they could not receive any tips.
Okay. Now, what was Stassi's job at the time? Was she the food waitress?
A waitress.
Okay. Well, I ain't never been a waitress or nothing like that, but I'm assuming the cook can't go out there and get a tip. Okay.
No, she was a waitress.
Maybe that was just her rule for just bringing on somebody else for the, I don't know. But you can't tell me ain't nobody in her restaurant is not getting tips. They getting tips.
But at the time that when they start filming that restaurant, when they start filming that, nobody in her restaurant that was a waiter or waitress could not receive any tips.
Okay. And just say this, and say that's the case. Say her people wasn't getting a tip. It wouldn't make sense for her to say, well, to break it down with the people that's getting the tips, because she should be the main one paying them $19 an hour if they can't get a tip.
Exactly.
But I'm saying, like,
17. Yeah. 17.
I think Pat West, like, I'm leaning towards what she's saying, that they split the tips. I know, like, I have several friends that work in restaurants, and some of them do it differently. Some of them, the tip you give is split amongst like several people. The person that comes and brings the food to your table, and the people that bust down your table.
Right.
And so, though they pull their tips. So if she was hiding her tip, then that's probably why, because she wanted to keep the whole $100.
Oh, damn.
They're splitting it up between everybody that's supposed to split it up with. So when they do that, I'm gonna call it group tip, but it's probably the wrong terminology. When they have a restaurant rule where it's the group tip, that means at the end of the night, if I got $500 worth of tips, then that $500 is split amongst all of those people that help bring that food to that particular table. It's the bus people, it's the servers, because you know your waitress in every restaurant is not always the one that brings the food to your table. Sometimes it's a separate server that comes and put down your food on the table. But
Someone says it's called the pools. Pools.
A pool. Okay, yes. So
but with that being said, do you still think they should raise the minimum wage, Andrea?
I do.
Yeah, I do because I live in Georgia. And I went to the grocery store the other day, and I always go to the food market where you get cheaper meats at. Pork chops were going for $8 to $10. Beef roast, I swear, y'all, I almost fainted in the stove. Beef roast was going for $27 to $30.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I live in Georgia. It is high because in Georgia, you pay for everything. You pay for property tax. You pay for city tax. You pay for light bill, gas bill, water bill, your rent, clothes, cable. So, yeah, the cost of living has gone up. The cost of living has gone up, but the wages for employees have not.
Stayed the same. Yeah.
What do you think, Zayn? I almost called you Zayn. What do you think? Hold on one second. Thank you, Roslyn. I really appreciate that.
Wow.
Love your show, Sherelle. I've watched you for years. Keep being a blessing. Oh my God, thank you so much. I really, really, really appreciate that. Thank you. So sweet. Okay, go ahead, Sky. who do you want to talk about today? Because we got 3 topics.
I want to talk about Lisa Vanderpump because I think this is really a huge issue that is going on in the world right now. You know, we just got out of a pandemic. So many people have lost their jobs. So many people have been evicted from their homes.
Yes.
And, you know, you have these ultra wealthy people saying that, oh, no, we shouldn't raise the minimum wage. But yet Lisa Vanderpump received PPP money to help her restaurants. So she received government funding, but yet she's saying that, oh no, we shouldn't be raising minimum wage. And, you know, the cost of everything is going up. Like Andrea was saying, groceries are so expensive. Gas is so expensive. Rent is so expensive. My partner and I, we had to move out of our apartment because they were going to be raising our rent $500 a month.
What?
Yeah.
Is that legal?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, in Florida.
Yes, it is.
I live in Florida. There's very little laws protecting tenants.
Someone can raise your rent that much and get away with it?
Yes, they can. Yes, they can, Sherelle. Yes, they can.
Yeah.
I live in Georgia. They do it all the time.
It's insane. And you know, in these places are wondering why they can't find workers. Well, you need to raise your pay. And if minimum wage was adjusted for inflation, they said it should be $27 an hour.
You live in Florida. I live in Georgia. I know exactly what you're talking about. And
It's
sometimes
crazy down
when
there.
you go month to month on a lease, they can charge you anything they want to charge you. I understand exactly what you're talking about. I pay $1,800 a month. $1,800 a month. So I know exactly what you're talking about. It should be $27 an hour.
It should be.
How are people expected to take care of themselves? And Lisa Vanderpump, I'm sorry, I love you, you're the queen, but you're the last person to speak.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You're
kept her
a
mouth shut.
millionaire many times over.
Right.
And I like you, but I'm not supporting you on this one. Shame on you. Shut up. No, shut up.
You got a lot of people out here that's living from paycheck to paycheck.
I mean, it seems like a lot of them are. A lot of them are.
Nina, what's your opinion on this? It's crazy.
Okay, because I want to talk about 2 things, but I'm going to go on this minimum wage. I'm in North Carolina, which is a Republican state, right? we've been making. I've never made $7.25 an hour in my life, but that's the minimum wage, and it's going up in North Carolina January 1 for hotels, airport. People that work at the airport, things like that. Because my daughter works at the airport, so they're going up to. She was making 13, so they're going to be making like 15.25, something like that. But I do want to say, Lisa Rinna, the wealthy stay wealthy, and the poor stay poor. That's always been the saying around the world. I know everybody's heard it, and that's how it's going to be. So Lisa Rinna, this what she went on, this stance or whatever she wrote on Instagram. Child, sit down, because they want to keep their money. They do not want to pay you.
You're talking about Lisa Vanderpump. You said Rinna.
Yeah. I want to talk about Lisa Rinna, yeah. But Vanderpump too. They do not want to pay you that money. And see, she has high-rise restaurants. So they already, getting paid whatever. But what I wanted to say about just be quiet, Vanderpump, because you don't want to lose any money that you're having. And she got the PPP loan, and she didn't really need it. She didn't have to apply for that, but she got it because it was out there. And most people did. And during this pandemic, when the stimulus checks went out, we got 1, we got 2, we got 3. Then we got the child tax credit. Then we got, something, the PPP loans came out. So people were living off of that. So when the pandemic came and people were getting laid off, but I'm just going on what my experience has been. Getting laid off. They was not going back to these jobs that paid $10 and $8.50 and Bojangles and they was living off of that money. And then of course you have to know too that you didn't have to pay rent then. So a lot of people took advantage of not paying that rent, that light bill, and all that stuff. But what happened? At the end of the day, when all of this stuff happens, you're going to have to pay that. People are losing their homes. People that rent it, they didn't want to rent no more. Now, I'm going to say this because of Section 8. I got a few girlfriends that's on Section 8. Section 8 is no help to some people. I don't understand why people be on Section 8. I mean, some do have to be, but I don't understand. If you're working, But anyway, they took advantage of not paying that rent and that light bill. It shut the crisis assistance ministry down because people were coming asking for $8,000 to pay their rent. I didn't do it. I paid my rent. I paid my light bill. I paid everything I was supposed to pay because I worked. But so minimum wage needs to go up. It will go up to 15 for people like that work in the airport.
What is the minimum wage for you, Sky, in Florida? What is it?
It's like $8.75, I think.
So what happened to you when they raised your rent that much?
It was either you accept or you leave.
Exactly.
And that's another thing that they're doing that. They're raising, the cost of living is high everywhere. But
did you know they were going to raise it that much?
I
can't believe that happened.
I heard through like my neighbors that like the things were getting adjusted. It was new management. Things are probably going to change.
That's the excuse.
But the area that I lived in is getting really, really expensive because a lot of New Yorkers are moving down there and buying up everything.
That's the other thing.
So like the average house that you could have got for $200,000 is now $500,000.
Right.
Exactly.
So, and rents a studio apartment, you'll have to pay $1,600 at least.
How do they expect people to live? This is crazy.
They don't care.
They don't care.
They don't care.
That's why
they
it needs to go up.
They don't care.
But too, we need to vote. We need to vote.
Yeah.
Period. We need to vote. But I want to say one thing about Lisa Rinna and her daughter, right? Okay, so she's on the Xanax, right? She stopped the hard drugs, and y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all this. I'm not opposed to this because what it's called is harm reduction. And I worked under harm reduction because, of course, y'all know I'm a recovering addict. And I work with people that you either get off the hard drugs, the drugs that will cause you not to go to work, not to make doctor's appointments, like the crack cocaine, the methamphetamine, those things that keep you stuck like stupid, right? You can't pay your bills, you can't work, you can't function as a human being. You get off of that stuff, but you may still smoke weed every day. You know, you may still drink occasionally some alcohol.
No, Nina. She went to rehab for Xanax.
Yeah. But
and
you know,
now she said that they reduced the amount of Xanax. You're still that's still a drug addict. You got to get off of the Xanax.
You get off, but they give you this drug to help you eliminate the cravings for it. You know, I'm just not against what's happening because I've seen it. If you reduce the amount of intake, then maybe you're able to function and do.
Did you see the video she made 3 days ago?
You know what? Some people can't be on drugs, period. Some people cannot be on drugs,
She
period.
looked stable, guys. She did not look stable. We all were saying, oh my God, there's a problem here. She couldn't complete a sentence. She would say, I'm not addicted, but my body needs the drugs.
She was
What Nina is saying is there is a drug. I'm trying to think of the name of it. That they will give it to you so that they can wean you off of the hard drug that you're on. But I think with Lisa Rinna's daughter, though, she went to a treatment center. Remember, she called it a treatment center, which I believe is different than going to rehab. And
what's the difference?
This is not what they did to her. I think she is still taking her cocktail stuff. She's taking herbal stuff, like herbal supplements. She's doing a cocktail of stuff, which now that they're saying that the boyfriend is allegedly doing something too, it makes a little more sense that they both together probably was dibbing and dabbing in some different stuff. So now it appears that they probably both need help, but I'm not excusing why he did what he did, but maybe they both need help.
Hold on, Sassy girl. I'm getting to you. Really quickly. I wanted to ask, does anybody on this panel smoke weed, and does it make you hallucinate?
Now make me hungry. Make me eat up everything. Don't give me no joint. Don't give me no joint because I eat up the whole house.
Listen, when I was on
it don't make you hallucinate.
When I was on crack real bad, Sherelle, if I got so high, I would smoke a blunt to mellow me out. But I'm gonna tell you, it did make me paranoid. I do not smoke weed because I can look at the TV and I can swear those people are coming at me.
Whoa!
I can look at something on TV. I don't like weed.
The rumors about Zayn could be true. He could be smoking so much weed that it makes him paranoid and aggressive.
He could
not to hit nobody.
Nah,
Zayn is on something else.
He could be doing something else. He could be doing something else.
Let me give the floor to Zazzy girl. Hi, Zazzy. So, thank you for listening. Sorry, we get into our conversations.
Hey.
Which topic
I know.
do you want to talk about first?
The Lisa Vanderpump. Okay. Back in the 80s, I was a waitress for Golden Corral. And they had the pool thing where the waitresses, you make your tips, and then you put it in the jar, and at the end of the night, they would split it. I didn't like it.
Why do I have to split my tips? I might be selfish.
Well, if you're not the only one who on the work, Sherelle.
At the time, they were paying the bus boys and the other people regular pay, but the waitresses had to split the tips because their logic was, well, what if she doesn't make tips that night? Well, then that's her. She's not doing her job right, and that's what a lot of the waitresses would do. They would act funky because they knew they were going to get a tip at the end of the night because it was a pool tip. So I told the manager, I'm going to hostess. I'm not being a waitress because why should I do my job right to get my tips, but you want to get an attitude, don't serve the patrons right and everything. but you're still getting paid. What they need to do now is actually pay the waitresses hourly, but paying them $250 and $350 and then have them depend on tips is ridiculous.
Wait, whoa. $250?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's between $250 or $350.
That's what they got.
They will legally pay somebody $250,
and they still
Yes,
doing it.
it's legal. They're still doing it. That's why I say they need to change it. They're still doing it. And Andrea was right about the Stassi thing. They were not supposed to get tips in the beginning because I think Lisa was actually paying the waitresses full hourly wages.
Okay.
I think it wasn't until her restaurant started to kind of slow down is when she started having them accept tips.
Exactly. From the beginning.
They was getting full wages though.
In the beginning.
Yeah,
in the
but
beginning.
The full wages, Perry, the full wages could have been what? $2, $3, $4, or $5.
No. With Lisa Vanderpump, no, I don't think she was paying them
No.
that much.
She was
No,
paying them
not with
pretty
Lisa.
good.
I'm saying I was agreeing with you, Andrea. I remember the Stassi situation. That's what I'm saying. With the $100 bills, they were not allowed to get tips because I think Lisa Vanderpump was paying them hourly wages. So they didn't need tips. But when her restaurant started slowing down is when she changed it to however much. And then now they can get tips.
Corey, what is your opinion on the whole minimum
now
wage?
on the Lisa Rinna subject, and
Go ahead, Sassy. Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
no, I was going to
Sassy.
say real quick with Lisa Rinna's daughter with Xanax.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm on Xanax. Okay, myself for anxiety. Xanax is one of those drugs where they tell you be careful with it because you can take one and then you forgot you took it and then go take another one and forgot and go take another one. So they said if you can have someone monitor you if you can, because they don't just like giving Xanax out all willy-nilly because they know the effect. Remember when Brandy was on them and how she started acting even crazier because she was taking more than her prescription.
Are you telling me, Sassy, is that it can easily be abused?
Some people shoot it up, Sherelle.
And then some people too. Yeah, and some people too would snort it. They would crush it up like coke and snort
we need
it.
to calm this down. Y'all know I'm green. You can shoot up a
Yeah.
Xanax.
Yes.
Shoot it up.
They would shoot it up or snort it. Or
chew
snort
it
it.
too.
They'll chop it up or snort it.
And it hits your
Because it hits the system.
Right.
It
Sherelle,
hits the system a different way than the way it's supposed to.
Right.
When you do it like when you shoot it up or snort it, you're breaking it down.
Didn't Lisa Rinna say something one time like, I need a Xanax? Lisa Rinna on
Yes,
the show?
remember she said she would put them in her smoothies. She'll put a Xanax in her smoothie.
She said she put it on her smoothie?
Yeah, she did say that.
Yes, remember when
She
they
ain't
were
the only
when her
housewife
and
that
that
said
other girl, but I was saying because it's about her daughter. Lisa said that time when what's her name, the hair guy daughter was on the show and they were at what's her name's house and they were making smoothies, her and Dorit. And she said, yeah, I usually put a Xanax in my smoothie. Yeah, Lisa said that.
This gives validation to what Diva was saying, is that Lisa can't help her daughter because she's in the same lifestyle.
Yeah.
That's what we said
So
the
what
last
I'm saying,
Sherelle.
Sherelle, real quick, what I wanted to say, the reason they didn't take her completely off of Xanax just yet, they're probably weaning her because if they take her completely off and stop, she'll have major withdrawals. She will have major withdrawals, and it's bad. It's like coming off of a junkie, like a actual junkie withdrawal.
But Sassy.
So they're weaning. They have to wean her off because her body.
In the video 3 days ago, did she look
Yes,
like?
I did.
Did
She was high off of Xanax, weed, drink. She was
Drink?
on it. She was
Wait, you're adding
alcohol.
things in. You
Alcohol.
you think she was on
Drink. I
alcohol?
call alcohol drink.
That's what most people do, Sherelle.
Wait,
That's what my next.
I'm telling you, Sherelle.
What makes you
She
think
was
that
on. She was because Sherelle, like I said, okay. When I first started taking Xanax, right? Like I said, because I have PTSD and anxiety and stuff real bad. So when I started taking it, I was drinking still, okay, and I was smoking. So when they started, yes, and I let my doctor know I was doing these things, right? And he said, well, when you get on the Xanax, you cannot do it. He said you got to cut it out, cut the the weed and the drinking out. You cannot do that while you're on Xanax. So me being me, I'm like, well, it's not gonna affect me. What is he talking about? So when I did it, the high you get is out of this world.
Wow.
So
hot cocktail.
So for me, I'm kind of glad it scared me because I stopped the drinking and stuff, and I said, So she, I guess she didn't, get scared. So they have to wean her off. They can't just take her completely off. Or her body is going to crash, and she is going to go through withdrawal symptoms.
Wow.
Excuse me.
I got a lot of people
Yeah.
backstage. Let me, Corey,
Yeah.
stay. Diva, stay. Did you have anything else to say, Sky? You're so sweet. Thank you for sharing your story. That just blew my mind. I can't believe that it's true. It's crazy.
And Sherelle, it's called methadone. So with drug addicts, when they're trying to get them off the drug, they will give them legal methadone. But the problem is a lot of them, they will come to get their methadone treatment and still go out and do their drugs. So it was like, is this really working? And yes, they do have to wean you off a drug. So even when the doctor gives you certain drugs, they'll tell you, don't just stop taking them on your own. You come back and let's just say that your dose is 10 milligrams. To wean you off, there's maybe say, okay, take 10 milligrams 3 days and then start taking half the pill,
Right.
Maybe 5, or they'll give you a new prescription for the 5 milligram. They wean you down. But what it sounds like with her daughter, though, is that one, she was confused about her whole situation. And I feel like she just felt she was still on the same Xanax. And then she was taking all these supplements. She has a lot going on. And usually with people who are abusing a drug, they end up having multiple diagnoses and layers of things that you got to work through. You got to work through the drugs. You got to work through the depression. You got to work through so many things. So they need you to see a therapist. They need you to be in rehab. They got so many things they need to work through. And from that video, I feel like she had multiple things they needed to work through. And she shouldn't have been out of a treatment center or rehab. She should have still been there.
I want to say one. I want to say one thing, and then I'm gonna leave. Sometimes when they wean you off of medication, they also put you in house to wean you off the medication that's doing the damage to you. You have to go to the center, and you may have to stay 2 or 3 weeks so they can wean you off.
It's crazy. All right. Thank you, Andrea. Thank you for calling. I appreciate it. All right, guys, I'm going to bring up some more people. Corey, stay on. Thank you, Sky. Okay, he's gone. Thank you, Sassy Girl, for calling, and I appreciate the call.
Thank you guys for having me.
And you got to enjoy your weekend.
Nina, did you want to stay?
No, go ahead. You can bring up other people. Y'all have a good weekend.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Oh my God, that was a crazy conversation. Hi, guys.
Hi.
What do you want to start out with, Corey?
I'm just going to say just a little bit about Xanax, and I'm going to talk about Zayn.
Okay.
Xanax is in the class of booger sugar.
Booger sugar?
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
The white powder stuff that I can't say? Okay.
Yes, it's in the same class. It's that much of a stimulant. So yes, she does have to be weaned.
Wow.
It's
they're living a crazy lifestyle because mom is popping pills, the kids is popping pills, Harry popping other things.
She should have been in intensive therapy when she was little, when she had the anxiety and wouldn't go to school. She in a sense, she was a 8-year-old agoraphobic. She should have had intensive therapy then.
Okay, so what did you want to say about Zayn? Because people were saying that weed could make you paranoid.
No, it depends on what it's laced with, like everybody is saying. But I think it's horse.
You think what?
I think it's horse instead of weed.
Everybody's saying that the H stuff.
Mm-hmm.
This is too much. Do you think
because you don't have to shoot that, you can snort that as well?
Do you think it's something about Hollywood or being in the entertainment business that's bringing all this drug addiction on?
No, it's just him. He could have an addictive personality. It could be in his genes somewhere.
Hi, Candy. This is crazy.
Yeah.
What did you want to talk about? They got a lot to talk about today.
Zayn, right? Is that his name? Zayn?
Yeah.
So I think honestly, and I know you're trying to like dance around like his religion and stuff like that, which I am gonna also dance around that too. But I feel like it's not just the Muslim religion, but also even the Christian religion. I feel like if in certain religions, men are treated differently than women in a way, and not just Muslim too. You look at Christian, because like in a lot of some Christians feel like, you know, a woman's place and there's a man's place and stuff like that. So if he came from a background where, you know, women are treated a certain way, and he would be comfortable being abusive or talking to women or hitting women.
Let me ask you this, Candy, you know, because I'm going to get it later in the comment section.
For Christians, you know, because Christians be beating up on each other too. So
well, let me ask you this. If a religion has different beliefs, and I say, well, that in that religion, that's okay. Am I being unfair to that religion?
I don't get your question. I don't get it.
Okay, what I was trying to say.
What she's trying to say is if the religion is perverted, like some Islam is perverted.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God, I did not say
the word
that.
is pervert. I mean, well, listen, they don't take the Quran at face value. Some of the things that they say that's in the Quran is not in the Quran at all.
But no. This is what I'm saying.
Not in the Quran.
They're explaining the father as following all the rules. Mm-hmm. Like there's a strict set of rules.
It's a strict protocol. It's the way they was.
But I understand what you're saying. You're saying he's going along with that. He's like that. You're saying
right. If you're raised like that.
But I feel it's the same way as being like a cafeteria Christian, and you pick and choose what you go by. Like for instance, like some like Christians will be extremely pro-life, but they may also be for the death penalty. You know, so it's like you're picking and choosing what you want to believe to kind of suit your lifestyle, basically.
No. Let me clear this up because this is I don't want to offend anybody's religion. I'm saying that Zayn was raised in a household where the father had certain beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we'll just put it this way, and this is probably a way that you don't even touch on a religion. You feel like he was raised in a household that he was taught his behavior.
Uh-huh.
That's it. He was just taught that behavior regardless of the food he ate, the place he worshiped, or anything else. The job he had is irrelevant. You sort of saying that he sort of learned this behavior from his father.
Well, I was trying to explain that's what the rumors were, that they're saying that's how his dad is. So that's how he is, but he's taking it to a different level.
And that's what I'm saying is that's how I feel. If that's the case, then he's going to treat women in a certain way.
Yeah, I better stop talking about this. This is getting worse.
I think for me, I think forget it, like outside of religion, I think the person is the person. And if his personality is to do XYZ, regardless of all the other titles you may attach, his personality is to do XYZ. He could be from Venus or Mars. If he decides to touch a woman with his hands in an inappropriate way by beating her, that's who he is. And it has nothing to do with all of these other titles.
Sure.
You know, the first thing is you're a person. And, you know, if you're a person that believes I'm not going to put my hand on a woman, no matter what religion, race, or whatever you are, you say, I'm not going to put my hands on women. But if you are a person that's going to put your hand on women, it doesn't matter, again, what race, religion, or whatever you are, you decided to put your hand on a female. So I do think that your first influences are within your household. And no matter what, if you maybe see your parent put their hands on your mom and you grew up, you may think, oh, well, that's how you do it. That's how I show my love. I put my hands on the woman. I think it has nothing to do with, you know, this religion, that religion. I think people start out as people, and whether you good, bad, or whatever, it comes after that, and you just happen to attach yourself to these different titles. It doesn't mean that everyone in that group is that way.
Right.
But don't you
True,
think
that's not what I was saying, though.
But don't you think sometimes, no matter what religion you are, if you're doing something that's not good, if you're hurting people, you can use your religion, whatever it is, as a
weapon.
As a weapon, basically. No matter what your religion is, you can use certain parts of whatever your beliefs are to say, I'm justified in doing this and that.
I don't know. Let's not talk about religion.
Yeah,
Let's say this. Let's say Zayn has a lot of bad behavior, whether it's drugs, whether it's putting his hand on women, and he needs some help. Put it that way. You don't hit women. You don't hit my brother.
Okay.
Go ahead, Lola.
Okay, can I just say something? Because I actually have experience with Islam. My husband's Muslim. Okay, so I can speak to this. Muslim, so I can speak to this.
Okay, go ahead.
First of all, monogamy is very important. Infidelity is severely frowned upon. 1, 2, I think we're forgetting a cultural aspect to this. Zayn's father is not Palestinian, he's Pakistani. And if you guys look up the news, I mean, I'm not saying this applies to everyone from Pakistan or everyone from India, but they do have a huge problem when it comes to how women are treated. Women are treated as second-class citizens. They have a huge problem with the R word that I'm not allowed to say on YouTube. So if you guys look it up on your own, CNN, and you've heard, no, I'm just saying, I'm just giving you context.
I know, but here's the thing. Here's the thing.
I feel like a lot of people on here misconstruing what Islam is. I mean, Cheryl, you didn't say anything that was offensive to Muslim people. I'm telling you that right now. I was not offended one moment hearing anything you said. But I'm just saying, like, I just feel like at the end of the day, his father must just be him, not his culture. It just might be a violent person. And then he just saw this growing up and he is perpetuating that. That is what I'm trying to say.
There you go.
But I feel like there were some things here said that were not accurate. Infidelity is not okay in Islam. It's heavily frowned upon.
Okay.
So I just want to make that perfectly clear because I heard that earlier and that was completely wrong. Also, Cheryl, you didn't say anything you should be ashamed of or anything. You didn't say anything wrong because I know earlier you said people were coming at you or something. I don't know in the comments. You didn't say anything offensive at all.
Because this was the rumor is that he's mimicking his father's behavior, and his father grew up an extreme Muslim. That's how it was reported to me. And
but you can
reported it that way. They were like, "You don't know what an extreme Muslim is. There's no such thing as an extreme Muslim." And I was like,
right, but the Quran also speaks a lot about treating your spouse with respect.
Correct.
Both ways. You understand what I'm saying? So that does not correlate. Even if you are extreme Muslim, you should be extremely respectful, therefore, to your spouse, both male or female, husband to wife, wife to husband. There you go.
But whatever he's got a problem. Okay.
Yeah, he's abusive.
The way
like any
he's
other man
treating
from any
people
other
is not
culture.
right, and putting your hands on women isn't right. And these alleged drugs. Now, people saying it's probably stronger than weed. It's probably the H word, drug, and this is a mess.
Domestic violence is the issue here, not culture, not religion, not anything else. It's domestic violence, which exists everywhere, every corner in the world, unfortunately. Yeah. It's just what it is. I also wanted to speak about the Lisa Vanderpump stuff because I actually have a lot to say regarding this. So I went to school, university, just to give context, in Manhattan. I still live here. I live in Jersey City currently. In undergrad, I worked 3 jobs, right? In New York, it's very difficult to live and survive just working one full-time job 40 hours a week. Is extremely difficult, as it is in a lot of major cities. I am for higher wages in that sense. I also, once I got my master's degree, before I graduated, I had a full-time job as a computer engineer. recently this year, I actually bought an investment property, a duplex, and I actually have tenants currently who I am collecting rent from. So I feel like I could speak on both ends of being broke and then getting to where I'm at today.
Okay.
I will say this. I am for higher wages, but I will say something that might be hard to hear and people might get upset with me, but it is what it is. Americans are horrible with money. We have the highest credit card debt in the world. Horrible. My parents are immigrants, right? So I was taught from a very young age to not give in to peer pressure about spending money. Stop keeping up with the Joneses. Screw the Joneses. And I'm glad they taught me that, because at 20 something years old, I was able to buy my first investment property. But you know what I'm saying? Like, even when I was working 3 jobs as a barista, as a babysitter, and working as an IT in school, I saved my money. I only spent my money as far as food. I make sure I save money for any emergency, stuff like that. I see a lot of Americans, they'll be working at Walmart and wearing $1,000 Yeezys.
Whoa, hold on. What are you saying?
Yes.
No, I'm making real shit right now. Here's the truth. Not every American.
Say it, Lola.
Not
Hold
every
on,
American.
Lola. Are you saying that minimum wage, that people could do better on minimum wage, but they don't know how to manage their money?
No, she was saying that they spent their money stupidly.
No, let me clear it up. Let me clear it up. What I'm trying to say is that it's a balance. Yes, people need to raise minimum wage, but also you need to use financial intelligence with the money you're being given. If I give you $25 an hour, it's pointless if you're just going to blow it on stupid shit as well. I think it's a balance.
You need to save money when I can't pay my rent.
Okay.
No, I'm saying they need to raise minimum wage. That's how you get to pay your rent. But you also need to prioritize. People need to learn that how to break down and understand how your money comes in. They need to look into other things too, savings accounts, how everything works. That's why a lot of people are pushing for people to understand how to balance a checking and a savings account in high school. They need to start teaching them in high school financial literacy courses. I'm not saying that it is possible to live on Sunday. Someone was saying they make $7.25 an hour in Kansas. That's horrible. They should be making way more than that. But what I'm saying is you need to make way more than that, and also make your money work for you. Save your money, take courses, do something. Always trying to move forward in life. That's all I'm trying to say. Because I've been there. I've been broke. I've been there.
But the thing is that if you notice, like, as soon as we got all those Trump checks, Biden checks, all those checks start coming in, prices on everything start to go up.
That was a supply chain.
You know? Yeah. But and my thing is that I feel like even though they may increase the minimum wage, because I live in Florida too, it's like it'll never be enough. It will never, because prices will continue to go high. So I think a lot of people, like Lola was saying, they don't know how to manage money.
They don't. Americans are horrible.
Don't know how to manage money. And to me, I feel like, and I think because unfortunately, I think that we live in such a keeping up with the Kardashian type of atmosphere.
Yeah, we live in a capitalist society.
That
it's all about buying.
Should I be offended, Lola? Should I be offended? I am American. You said I'm horrible with money.
No, I'm saying most Americans are. We have the highest credit card debt in the world. It's for a reason.
At 20, I had to declare Chapter 7. Yeah. Because I got those credit cards they have in the lobby at the food court at college. Had 2 of them.
All right.
Yep. At $10,000 limits.
Let me pass the floor to Jessica. Hey, Jessica, which one of these topics did you want to talk about today?
So I wanted to touch on the Zayn topic.
Okay, go ahead. Are you from? Are you English?
Yeah.
Love it. Love your accent.
Thank you. So I feel like he's getting a bit of a bad rep when it comes to everything that's going on. One, if you go back to his X Factor days, he suffered a lot from anxiety. So he's a very anxious person just in general. And I think that explains his weed usage, because for a lot of people, it can calm them down. It can cure their anxiety. But then at the same time, for some people, it can make it worse. I think Corey was saying earlier that weed doesn't cause paranoia.
I didn't say that.
Okay, my bad then. But weed definitely causes paranoia. It 100%
That was me. I said
does.
that. I was wrong.
Oh, okay. But it definitely causes paranoia. And so although you can think it's helping your anxiety, it's actually making you worse because you're paranoid and then you're more anxious. But I wanted to talk about, have you heard about the blood story with him and Yolanda?
The blood?
The blood story where she tried to change his blood?
Huh? What?
So Yolanda has planned an intervention for Zayn where she said she's going to cure his, Yolanda is all about this holistic health healing and,
She
all that.
wants to recycle his blood and give it back to him.
No,
Fresh.
give him somebody else's blood.
She's done that to herself.
Yolanda set up.
Ho. Jessica, what are you talking about? Blood? How do you clean what? Recycle blood?
Yolanda said she is going to cure him of his anxiety. And she sprung this on him. He didn't even know. So he's walked in with Gigi, and all of a sudden he's had all of these 6 holistic health healers chanting at him, speaking in tongues, throwing things at him. And Yolanda has tried to put leeches on him to drain his anxious blood, and she's going to replace it with non-anxious blood to cure his anxiety. Yes.
Wow.
So there is So there is all of this stuff that is going on behind the scenes, and I don't know if I trust Yolanda. I don't. If she's bringing situations like that on him in the background and the public eye isn't really knowing about all of this stuff, of course he's going to be, he already suffers from anxiety. Can you imagine walking into a room with 6 people speaking in tongues, throwing things at you, and they're telling you they're going to take your blood out and give you new blood?
People are saying in the chat, Jessica, that they've heard this story. I've never heard this story. I don't even know what to say.
That sounds crazy. Yeah, that sounds crazy.
I read something about it
maybe
2 or 3 days ago. I read something about that, and I said, "Oh no, that's crazy."
Yeah, it does.
Yolanda is
wait,
that
can I
health
add?
nut.
Wait, Jessica, I just have to add one thing. The whole weed causing paranoia, it doesn't cause paranoia in everyone. I've smoked before. It did not cause paranoia in me, in other people. I think if you're predisposed to paranoia, it can amplify it, but it does not cause paranoia in everyone.
You know what? Not in everyone, but one of the major things, if you look at the side effects of weed, it's paranoia. I smoked one time.
No, it's a side effect, but not to everyone.
Not, of course, not to everyone, but to a lot of people, to a large population of people who are going to smoke it. I smoked once. I felt like everyone was staring at me. I was super paranoid. I didn't like it. I never smoked again. But it definitely does cause that. But can you imagine this stuff going on in the background?
So you're saying, Jessica, there's way more to this story. We need to follow it because there's more behind it that the public doesn't know?
Exactly. And I feel like he's getting a bad press because everyone's trying to make him out to be this violent guy. Do you remember when Yolanda said that Ken hit her? Does anyone remember that story?
He didn't. He actually just tapped her on the side. It is the season before we found out David left her.
Exactly. So can we really trust Yolanda in all of this? Can we? When she's doing this crazy stuff behind the scenes, we know she lies. She's into all of this. And, the story about the blood thing, we know Yolanda is into all of that, that, I don't know, that new age therapy.
I think they're both crazy.
We saw her do her Lyme disease stuff. Remember, she lied. Well, I don't want to say she lied, but she said that Gigi and Bella had Lyme disease as well. And their dad came out and said no,
but Gigi, Bella, and Anwar have said that they had Lyme disease, though.
They did it. Yeah, they did say
their dad came out and said that they didn't, and I feel like Yolanda forced them to come out and say that. But I feel like Yolanda forced them to say that she is because she's super controlling. She will control every aspect of their life, and that marriage could have never succeeded, not with Yolanda over them.
Well, no, listen. Yolanda's marriage didn't succeed because Muhammad Hadid wanted other women. 1.
Yeah,
2.
That's true.
I do believe, I'm not going to say Zayn is a big angel or whatever. I don't trust
Zayn. Yeah, Zayn is an asshole too. We're not going to act like Zayn's innocent in all this.
He's not an innocent. He's not completely innocent.
And Jessica, as a survivor, I am getting the same kind of spidey senses that I got with my ex, with Zayn. I'm sorry to tell you that, dog.
What kind of?
He gives off abusive vibes.
Yes, he does.
Controlling and abusive vibes.
Yes.
Yolanda, I'm not saying Yolanda is innocent. I think they're both to blame in this. Because Zayn is not an angel by any means.
Well, maybe there is more to the story, guys, that we need to keep. I'm going to keep following it because I never heard any of these things, and people in the chat are saying that they heard these things, and I'm going, what?
I can believe it because she took all those crazy things trying to get rid of Lyme disease.
And Zayn is not even Muslim anymore. He's not Muslim. He came out a few years ago, said he's not Muslim. You'll see him drinking beer, eating pork.
That doesn't negate
let me ask you this, Jessica, and then I gotta wrap it up. Oh my God, I'm over again. Do you think that being raised in a strict Muslim household will make a person controlling?
I think if he was that strict of a Muslim, he wouldn't even be with Gigi in the first place, to be honest. Given her modeling and her past, he wouldn't even be with her. He's definitely more liberal.
That's true.
That is true.
You can say the same thing for Janet Jackson's ex-husband, but yet he tried to change her. That's why it didn't last. When she got married to that man, I said it's not going to last. And that's because
do you think that Zayn needs some? What do you think should happen to Zayn, Jessica?
I'm not too sure until we see some sort of proof of what he's done, because right now it's all speculation. I feel like Zayn, for his sake, needs to get out of the limelight. I don't think he's cut out for celebrity life. I really don't think he is.
It's not speculation that charges was pressed on him, and
he did no contest.
Right.
I think, as far as I know, he's come out and said that he's not guilty.
He pled no contest in court, Jessica.
How recently was this?
Recently.
Oh, last month.
I saw an article like yesterday, or like what are you talking about, Yolanda, right?
No, we're talking about Zayn.
Zayn.
No contest. He
So
pled
the
no
paperwork
contest.
that TMZ found is that he supposedly hit Yolanda and a security guard. Did you hear that?
Yeah,
Jessica?
no contest means neither admitting or saying you're innocent or saying you're guilty. That's what no
They
contest
still
means.
charged him though.
Exactly.
I mean, they charge people with a lot of things, and you have to think, why does Yolanda need to come to him with security? Why is she coming to him with a security guard in the first place?
Maybe he's hit Gigi before.
She's almost trying, to me it seems like she's trying to intimidate him. Right now we're getting a lot of stuff coming from one side where they're trying to paint him out to be the bad guy. I think there is a lot of stuff behind the scenes that we're not seeing. They're pushing
I think this too. If there's more behind the scenes, which there seems to be, I think it'll come out. Do you guys think it'll come out?
Oh, definitely.
Eventually. Yeah.
But my spidey senses is telling me it's not going to be any different.
We'll see. We'll see. I will follow the story. I got to wrap this up. Thank you, Jessica, for calling in with more things that we did not know.
Hi.
I appreciate that. Thank you guys, everybody. Thank you guys for calling in. We had another spirited conversation. We always start here at A and we always end up at Z.
That's okay, but we all love one another and we care about each one's opinion, and we don't tell people they can't have an opinion here. That's why I always do this live. Other places don't want you to have an opinion. They don't want to debate.
Sherelle, also, I didn't mean to call you a broke ass American. I'm sorry.
It's true, Lola. We need more financial literacy.
Look, that's what we do here. We all
teach your
share our
kids.
Opinions. Thank you guys for calling.
I'm trying
in.
to teach
Thank you,
this one,
Jessica.
your
Jessica,
boy.
keep your eye on the story for me and call in if you
will
have any
do.
more information. Okay.
All right.
All right.
Love you,
Thank
my
you,
new
guys.
sister Jessica.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone. Have a good weekend.
You too.
Yep,
Thank you,
that's right.
guys. See ya. Okay, we did it again. We went over. And I'm told I missed a lot of super chats. I'm so sorry, guys. Sometimes I get into a conversation. So if you super chatted me and I didn't recognize it, I really do apologize. This was a heated conversation. And I said there wasn't anything to talk about today. If please leave your comments in the comments section, because I like to read through all of them and just read different opinions and, like to know, keep up on what's going on our hot topics. Harry, any last words?
Oh, no, I'm good. I just want to say happy weekend, everybody. Enjoy. Be safe.
All right. On three. Well, let's say bye. 1, 2, 3.
Bye, everybody.
1, 2, 3. Bye, guys.